How Qatar's master stroke could end the Russia-Ukraine war. Almost a year ago, Russia invaded Ukraine, which raised quite a few eyebrows in the international political scene. This conflict has caused some serious damage, not only for both parties, but also for the global economy. In this video, we will talk about a potential solution to this political conflict, so stay tuned. But before we go any further, I would request you to subscribe to the channel. Thanks. The situation in Ukraine is very alarming, but NATO and Western sympathizers are trying to provide as much assistance to the Ukrainian soldiers as possible. All in all, everyone has been affected negatively from this military campaign. But if there's one country that has benefited from this conflict, it is Qatar. Qatar's energy minister has announced a long-term deal through which it will provide gas to Germany. Effect, a Chinese company, has signed a deal with Qatar Energy through which 2 million tons of liquefied natural gas will be provided per year. These deals have been concluded for the long term, which will reap benefits for the company for the foreseeable future. Let's talk a little about Qatar for a moment. Qatar is an oil-rich country in the Middle East. Due to its massive oil reserves, it has become an extremely rich country, especially with a population of 3 million citizens only. The gas reserves are estimated to be 858 trillion cubic feet, and in total account for about 12% of natural oil available to the world. This makes Qatar one of the top 3 natural gas exporting countries, along with the United States and Australia. Many people did not know about Qatar before the FIFA World Cup in 2022. But Qatar has a very sound economic profile, because of which it was able to spend over $200 billion on a 30-day tournament. The amount of money spent on this World Cup is almost 12 times more than what was spent on previous FIFA World Cups. Now, all of this is enough to substantiate the economic position of Qatar. However, you also need to account for the oil supply chain in Russia. Before its invasion of Ukraine, Russia was known as one of the biggest exporters of gas to Europe, since it has one of the largest natural gas reserves in the world. Russia had a huge market in 2021 since it was supplying EU countries with gas. Just to give you an example, 40% of Germany's energy needs were being met through Russian-supplied gas. Other countries, such as Italy and Netherlands, were also heavily dependent on Russian gas. All of this shows that Europe was heavily reliant on Russia. This was all before Russia had invaded Ukraine. In the wake of conflict with Ukraine, all of its relations with these European countries had suffered. The amount of gas products exported to its European clientele dwindled over time, and Qatar jumped at the opportunity to provide a solution to this increasing demand. Qatar now is taking over all the previous Russian clients and is also taking over Chinese customers too now. Saudi Arabia is known for its control over oil, whereas Qatar is known for its production of gas. To give you a perspective of how much gas reserves Qatar has at the moment, it has some 609 years worth of gas left, in keeping with the modern-day consumption levels. This also means that Qatar can outsell its rivals and can provide more gas than either US or Australia. Qatar has also increased its natural gas production by a factor of 2, despite being biggest natural gas producer in the world. Due to installation of more gas-producing and refining facilities, the natural gas production capacities have increased to 110 million tons from 77 million tons. When the production cap in these facilities will mature, the production may peak around 126 million tons. Qatar has negotiated long-term deals with countries which have traditionally relied only on Russian gas, such as Japan, Germany, and other European countries. Qatar has also signed deals with China, which amount to almost $60 billion for 27 years. But that is not to say that everything is fine and dandy with Qatar. In fact, there was quite a bit of controversy surrounding Qatar's LGBTQ rights violations. But this did not change the fact that Qatar remained a principal source of gas for remaining European clients. This development has many geopolitical implications. For one, Europe can now finally afford to shed its reliance on Russian gas and can look elsewhere to meet its energy requirements. Also, Qatar has gained an excellent new client in the form of China. Specifically, Qatar will be providing China with more than a quarter of its gas needs. But Qatar will also walk away with more political and security clout. The 27-year deal with China gives Qatar some form of protection from enemies such as Iran. Qatar has long relied on a U.S. military base near Doha to ward off any threats emanating from the Middle East. In short, this was a win-win for Qatar in terms of financial gain as well as security and political influence. With this, we will conclude today's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you like the content. Stay tuned for more content like this. Thanks for watching this video till the end, and catch you in the next one.